EF Press back on the Hampstead Heath. Brief update after Saturday's protests and vigils at Belmarsh Prison and Piccadilly Circus, and the other protests that were happening on the same day to raise awareness and protest against the treatment of the BLM and minorities who are currently suffering the worst of the oppression being meted out by state terror. And it was very good on Saturday in Piccadilly, the circus, where we managed to engage with a lot of the public and have good discussions and to raise awareness, where people were unknowing that Julian Assange is actually a remand prisoner and has been denied bail, has been denied human rights and legal rights, and got some very good support and sympathy for Julian Assange and the outrage at the treatment he has received as a guest in the UK. And as we discover, the UK, a vassal state of the US empire, is quite determined to see him extradited to the US on these trumped up charges, literally, who has no concept of the First Amendment and knows nothing about the treaty that bars the extradition of political prisoners. So bear that in mind. And this Friday, noon, in Marsham Street, at the Home Office, in support of the UN Anti-Torture Day and the committee to defend Julian Assange will be represented, and we will take this message to Priti Patel, Home Secretary, and those who have conspired to persecute and prosecute the UK's #1 political prisoner. Undeniably, he is a man who should be free, and WikiLeaks, a press publisher, must operate to reveal what is really going on with our money and our military and our security services. Recently, a case in Reading has highlighted the lack of control by the intelligence services, who claim that they can monitor these extreme fascists who wish to wreak havoc upon the streets of the UK. And there is much discussion how complicit our security services are in encouraging fascist outrage on the streets of the UK in order to justify their budget, and that they are fighting what they call a war on terror. And in this case, and in many cases, it is a state terror that has directly led to the terrible circumstances in Reading and terrible propaganda that is now being pumped out about the individual, and also what will the intelligence services reveal about what they knew about this suspect and what role they played in their domicile in the UK, and their knowledge and a potential for outrage and terror. And my conclusion is that this terror originates from our state institutions, from the preachers of hate in the UK and their good friends and sponsors, our merchants of death. And here, as well as in the US and many NATO countries, the military-industrial complex is determined to silence Julian Assange and to deny WikiLeaks their platform and keep up the pressure on these people, because the one thing they hate is transparency and accountability. Here, Press on the Heath, keeping you updated. And although it's sunny, although it's locked down, London